the user is allowed to click on a line. The user is allowed to click on a line, or he is allowed to click on a column. So it can be a column, it can be a line. It takes to the next report. We call it as the secondary report. What is the secondary report? So the place, the initial screen where he clicks, it is called as the primary list or basic list, and that which displays on the click of the user is called as the secondary list. Okay, we call it as the secondary list, or we call it as a detailed list, because we get more details in the secondary list or the detailed list, right? So so the example is, like when we see here, when we want to display any purchase order information, let us suppose in the primary list, we are trying to see the purchase order data. Okay. And you will have the secondary list over here like this. And you want to show here some purchase order item information, PO item information. So it can be anything. Okay. You can be anything, PO item information, let us suppose. So in such case, what happens? All the header fields, PO header fields will be displayed over here, and the PO item fields will be displayed here. So this one, we are calling this as secondary list. Okay, we are calling this as a secondary. We are calling it as a secondary list. And this one we are calling it as primary list or basic list. Primary, we are calling it as primary or basic list. We call it as primary or basic list. So we call it as a primary or basic list. So in the primary list, we are trying to show all the header data, and in the item, which is nothing but a secondary list, we are trying to show all the item information. Okay, you can show any number of the fields over here. It's not an issue, right? So you have to decide how you have to navigate between primary to the secondary list. It means the option is you have all the lines. Line number 1, 2, some hundreds of lines are there, up to n lines are there. Let us suppose. So when you have all these lines, whether you click on any line, I mean, a line means on any column of the line. For example, let us suppose I have 10 columns over here. On line, I have 10 columns, let us suppose. Okay. So you click on anywhere. You click on the first field, or you click on the third field, you click on the fifth field, or you click on the last field, whatever it is, whichever the field you click on, you can navigate to the secondary list. We have first option as that. Second option, you can restrict it. It cannot be the entire line, but you are restricted only to, let us suppose, PO number. Let us suppose this is your PO number. Okay. Let us suppose this is your PO number, the field for PO number. Okay. So this is called PO number field. So it means when you click only on this field, let us suppose when you click only on this field, you have to navigate to the secondary list. You have to navigate to the secondary list. Okay. So there are two options. One is on the entire line, whenever you click, you can navigate to the secondary list. And when it is on the PO number, column, when you click on the PO number column, if you want to navigate, you can navigate to the secondary list. Okay. So likewise, you can, and from here in the secondary list again, if you want to show some other additional information, and if you have any columns over here, again the same concept here, whatever I explained you here in the basic list or in the primary list, the same concept again over here. You want to go for the next report, next list when you click on a line, or you want to go to the next list when you click on a field. Okay, that control you can take care on your side in the code. Okay, so we will see an example, and we will see what are the events which we will be using in this. Okay, so basically in interactive reporting, the system fields, as you know, like psi-sub-c equal to 0 is a field, psi-page number is a field which is a system field. These are the predefined SAP variables which are available in the system. They will have the runtime information as and when the program is running, these fields will have their own information. Okay, so this will store the information about the current project. If you want to verify that, you can verify in your program also. Okay, so I advise you develop one report program, only a report program with all the system fields. Okay, so you can provide the system field, you can write them, you can print them in the output and see how the what kind of data is displayed in the output. Okay, so in our case, in the interactive reporting, the system fields are like LSIND. So this is the system field. So we call it as a list index. LSIND stands for list index. It tells you in which list we are. It means are we in the primary or the basic list, or we are in the first secondary list. It means, as I told you, here, so this is the primary list. This is the first secondary list, basic list. So this will have the index like index 1, index 2. Likewise, it has the list will have its own index. So if it is 1, it means you are in the basic list. If it is 2, you are in the first secondary list. It means in the secondary list, this is the very first one. So likewise, you need to understand. So this LSIND will tell you about that information. Next, LISCL. This will tell you line selected by the user. It means, let us suppose I am selecting this line. Okay, when I double click on this, what happens? Immediately, this field, LISCL field, will have the complete content of the line clicked. Okay, the complete content means nothing but all the columns, whatever the columns are there here as a part of your internal table will be displayed over here. Okay, that when you click on it, your system field LISCL will have that information. Okay, then how you make use of that information, we'll see in the program. Next, CU row means current cursor row. Current cursor row. It means it will tell you which row did you click in the list of rows which are displaying. Which row did you click? It means it will tell you the index of that particular row that you have clicked on. Similarly, current cursor column, screen column click. And similarly, like when you click on the columns, like for example, I have the P1 number example here, right? The P1 number. When I click on it, it will tell you the current column, which column you clicked. It means is it a P1 number or some date or some username? Okay, so likewise, you will be able to see that column clicked, which column you clicked. That column information will be stored in the size you call. Okay, so out of all this, our focus will be more on LSIND, because corresponding to that only we will see whether we have to show the next report or not, because this will tell you about the levels of the report, levels of the list, like the basic list or the first secondary list or secondary list, likewise. Okay, so these are the different system fields which we need to remember as and when we advance in the programming, and this plays a very important role in case of the interactive reporting concept. Right. So next, look into the next. Let's look into the events. When we say this event, in the events, there are two different types of events, like at line selection and the top of page during line selection. So there are events at line selection and top of page during line selection. So when you say at line selection means, it means when you are selecting that line, it means when user is clicking on the line, what should happen? Okay, you will write what should happen in that at line selection. Similarly, top of page during line selection means when user clicks on some item, on some line, right? So what should happen to the what must be contained in the top of the page? That will be, we'll decide in that top of page event. So when you see here in the at user selection, user clicks on a line, and how do we handle it? See, when we say at line selection, we will use such kind of code like KSILSIND. Okay, I said already, I said already. So case here you see the system field. LSIND is the system field. It means you will get the number of that list. It means basic list or first secondary list, that information you will get it. So when it is one means the meaning is you are in the basic list, let us suppose. Okay, you when you are in the one, you will get ready for the data to be displayed in the next coming screen. Okay, you will get ready for the data displaying in the next coming screen. Simple. Okay, so that's about the information. We will see this in the code, right? Next, top of page during line selection. Top of page during line selection. So when user clicks on a line, when the user clicks on a line, so you can see you can try to understand the event name, top of page during line selection. So during line selection, what do you mean by that? It means you are going to click on some line. You're going to click on some line in the report. So when the user is trying to click on the line on the report, what is the top of page during that? What is the top of page during line selection? So user is trying to click on the line, which is called as at line selection. So it means at line selection, your top of page. It means at the time of line selection by the user, what is the top of page? Very simple. So top of page during line selection. So in top of page during line selection, you're trying to put this information like purchase order item, some date, some user, some report information. So what is this for? This is to display in the next report. You see, purchase order item. It means we are already in the first screen, where we are showing the purchase order data, header data. And in the purchase order header data screen, we are trying to click on one line. And at that time, we are making these things ready because these things has to go to the next report. If you observe here also, case ILSIND, when one, it means when you are in the primary list, what are you trying to do? You are trying to get the data from the item table. You see this? You're trying to get the data from the item table. Also, you are trying to display the data in the output, in the secondary list. Okay, similarly, this event top of page during line selection also will tell you the same thing. Like you are getting ready for the top of the page information to be displayed in the second, in the next report with respect to the click that you performed on the first report. Okay, so these are the different events. Okay, so this is how the basic list looks like. So this is an example. You can see here, this is the header information, and we are showing the purchase order header and the date, time, user, and the report name. Okay, and we are showing the column names over here. We are showing the column names over here: purchase order, company, category, type, and vendor. And you can see the different unique information over here. Different purchase orders are displayed, right? So what are we trying to do here? We are trying to click on one line. Let us suppose this line. When I am talking about the lines, it means you can see the line with one line with 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. When you try to click on that line, what happens? Let us suppose user clicked on the first line. Let us suppose user clicked on the first line. So what happens? When the user clicked on the first line, it means at line selection event will trigger, and corresponding to that event, at line selection, and corresponding to that line, the first line, what is being clicked on, you can see the secondary list over here. This is a secondary list. We are calling it as an item list. And the date, user, and the report are the information shown over here. And apart from that, we can see purchase order and other information. Other column information is seen over here. Okay, and now you can see the purchase order number, item number, and the material, plant, storage, etc. things corresponding to the PO number which you clicked on the basic list is shown over here. Okay, so this is the secondary list. So likewise, when you click on purchase order 2, you will have the information related to the purchase order 2. Likewise, when you click on purchase order 4, you will have the information related to purchase order 4 over here. Okay, so That's about the overall concept of the interactive report. Okay, we'll see that in the program next. So generally, we have some techniques that we will follow in the interactive reporting. We will follow the techniques in the interactive reporting. So one of the technique is like a hide technique. We call it as a hide technique. So what happens using this hide technique? So when user clicks on any line, when user clicks on a line, what happens? The system automatically reserves that line in the memory. When the user clicks on that line, what happens? The system will automatically reserves that line internally. And whatever the line that is used, we will make use of that line for our navigation between one list to the other list. So how do we use that? I will tell you in the program directly. Okay. So that's about the technique, one technique. And the other technique is get cursor technique. The other technique is get cursor technique. So in using the get cursor technique, we can get the column information. We can get the column. It means using get cursor, you can see the column information. It means on which column the user has clicked. For example, you can see here, my purchase order is there, company is there, company code is there, category is there, type is there, vendor is there. Let us suppose I click on purchase order, double click on this. Let us suppose when you click on this, it means what happens when you click on, imagine you clicked on the purchase order. So what happens in case you clicked on the purchase order? It means using the get cursor technique, it will store you the purchase order number field information. It will store you the purchase order field column information, or purchase order field information will be stored. Okay, so you will then check which field is clicked, whether the field clicked is the purchase order number or not. So depending upon that, you will go for the next level. Okay, you will decide what to be fetched in the next level. Okay, so these are the two different techniques that we will be using. As I already told, like we have we have two things. When we are at line selection, when you're doing a line selection, you have the two options. Like the entire row also can be. I told you in the example, we can collect the complete entire row information if required. Also, we can collect independently the column information also. Okay, so the techniques which I explained you will help you to understand, to fetch whether the entire row or the only the column information. That the techniques, that the hide and the get cursor techniques will help you to understand this concept. Okay, so let me go into the program. Let me log into the program. Give me a moment. Let me log into the program and I will show you. Okay, so this is a program, so designed for you. So let's go through this and try to understand. Okay. Fine. So you see here, this is the top of top include. In the top include, I have the top include. I have taken a structure for holding the header data. I have taken fields like EBLN, BUQRS, BSTYP, BSART, LFNR. These are from the table EKKO. And also I have taken the structure for the item table EKPO. I have taken few fields from EKPO table, and we built the internal table for the header. I mean EKKO table, work area for EKKO table, internal table for EKPO table, and work area for EKPO table. Okay. So guys, I always advise you to follow types declaration. That will be more easy. Like your internal table name is different and your work area name is different. So I always advise you to follow the same, the same syntax or the same style of coding. Okay. Next, we have declared some variables like for the report, rep ID, uname, datum. Okay, these are the system fields, and I have taken LV field 1, some char 20, LV value 1, some char 20. Okay, so these are the variables, internal tables, and work area declared in the top include. Next, coming to the selection screen. In the selection screen, I have taken the select options. As I explained you in yesterday's session, select options I have taken. I'm referring to EKKO EBLN, and the EKKO table is here with respect to the tables EKKO. It's fine. Next, now coming to the subroutines. In the subroutine, I am taking the get EKKO. Okay, so let us see. Now this is the initialization event. I'll come to the subroutines part later. You see the initialization. In the initialization, what I'm trying to do, I have taken some fields already, LV rep ID, LV user, LV data. I'm trying to assign the values to that. So this is the advantage of the initialization, as we have seen in our class previously about the events of classical report. Initialization and the start of selection is the event where you actually start your data fetching from the database. So in start of selection, I am using get EKKO. So here we are trying to get the header table information. So get EKKO, go to get EKKO. In get EKKO, what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to write a select query. So fetching the data from EKKO table, putting into internal table IT EKKO, basing on the select options. Okay. If the data is there, we are sorting the internal table by the field called EBELN, which is purchase order number. Else we are displaying a message. So that purchase order does not exist. Okay. Next. This is the get EKKO method. Next, display first list. Now go into this. So in the display first list, you have to display the EKKO data. You have to display the EKKO data in the first list. Okay, in the first list, you have to display the EKKO data, which is in the basic list or primary list, we call it as. So what I'm trying to do, I'm looping on the internal table and printing the data in the output. Printing the data in the output. So in this example, concept of this interactive reporting, we used here, look here, we have used some at first, end at last, end at. These are called as control break statements. These are called as control break statements. So it means within the loop, you will be using these statements within the loop. I will tell you in a separate session about the usage, but now the time has come, so that is the reason why they are used over here. It means here when I say at first, every at will have end at, like if, end if, loop, end loop. Likewise, we have for every at we have an end at. So at first, end at. Okay. So at first means at the first of this loop iteration, the meaning is at the first of the loop iteration, what you want? I want this data to be printed in the report output. Okay. How many times it will print? It will print only for one time. Okay. It means generally up to, in the previous programs, you try to use this like this. This statement is there, right? This, let us suppose, sorry, this statement is there. Not you, we don't have this. Let us suppose what you try to use, you try to print that information over here like this. You tried printing the information like this. Okay, just try to understand clearly. So before the loop, you try to print the column names like purchase order, company. You try to print this. You try to print this, and your loop comes over here. Inside that, you are printing the internal table data. That's it. Okay. And in the last, if this is also not there, let us suppose. Okay, this is also not there. So what are you trying to do? You're trying to print that over here. Let us suppose you are printing it here. Remove this over here. Remove this from here. And let us see how it looks like. Activate and execute your program and provide some predefined variants. There are some data. Execute it. You see here. So what I commented is from the loop, I commented this section. This section I commented it. And end of the report. In the end of the report, I commented the end of the report, I commented this section. Okay, from the loop I commented it. Right? But you are getting the same output. You see this? This is the beginning of the loop and this is the end of the loop. But what I'm trying to do now, I don't want this to be freely spread outside the loop. I can also use that within the loop. I don't want this anymore here. Okay, I will try to put that into event. What I'm just adding at first. It means it will trigger this right information will trigger only for the only first time. First time when the process starts, when the control comes into this being the very first iteration, it prints only for the very first time. Very first time it will print. Second iteration, it will not print. Okay, same thing. When you say here at last means end of the loop. The meaning is that is the last iteration of the loop. System will know whether it is the last iteration or not. Last iteration of the loop. In the last iteration of the loop, this will print. Simple. Nothing else. Okay, fine. So now, so we are using at first index. We are printing the column information, and at last we are using the end of the report information. Next, write statement. We are using this to fetch to print the purchase order header data. Okay, with respect to the positions what we are given here, with respect to the same position, we are trying to print the data. So take care of this position so that they will be in proper order. Okay, so this is what we are doing in the first in the display first list. Okay, so far we did not encounter for any of the line selection events. It means interactive reports did not come into picture so far. We are only first displaying the data in the primary list. Now comes the event at line selection. At line selection. So when it comes, it means when you double click on any place in the screen, this line selection event will trigger. So let me put a breakpoint here. Click on execute. I'll provide this data, execute this. I try to click here. You see, when I try to click, now your program going in debugging mode. Okay, and you see, as you double clicked, then only your outline selection event trigger. When you don't double click, this event will not trigger. Okay, this event will not trigger. Okay, so what I use now in outline selection, I used get cursor field. This is a field value. This is a value. So this is a syntax, guys. Get cursor field name, value of the field. So let us see. Double click on this. Now double click on this. Now press F5 and see what happens. Look here. Where did you click? I clicked on LIFNR. I clicked on the field LIFNR, and so I got the value of that LIFNR, which is nothing but 60,000. Okay, we got the field name as LIFNR, and we got the value of the field as 60,000. But what I am checking here, now I restricted here. If you observe here in this case, I have a restriction. I am looking, now I am checking a case. What I am checking here, I am checking EKKO EBLN, but I am not checking LIFNR. So in this case, it will fail. In this case, this data fetching will fail. Then what happens? You will have only this event, top of page, and top of page during line selection. So what happens? Let us try to see. Nothing. Okay, look here. You don't have any information displayed over here because you don't have any data. Literally speaking, you don't have any data to display in the output. So that is why there is no interactive report trigger. Now what I will do, I try to execute the program. Now I will try to click on EBELN. So it means this field. I will try to click on this field. Now click on this field. When you click on that field, just to see what happens. Now I say LV field 1, LV field 1, LV value 1. Now press F5. Now you see I clicked on EBLM and the data is this, which is the purchase order number. Now you see the case statement. Yes, your case will validate this work area field. We are saying whether this is the same field or not, EBLN field or not. Yes, it is the EBLN field. It is true. Now it goes to EKPO. It goes to EKPO. Now, which purchase order number it will fetch? You see this purchase order number is already here in LV value 1. So, if LV value 1 is not initial, okay, we are trying to convert. This is a conversion engine. We call it as a function module. It means sometimes what happens in SAP, the data will have some preceding zeros, some 0004500. Likewise, so depending upon that, it will provide you this information. It means if you give some value as 1, 2, 3, expected value from SAP is like 00123. Okay, so if you give 1, 2, 3 and give this data to this function module, we call it as a function module, it will add the zeros, preceding zeros by default. Okay, that is what the functionality this functional module will take care. So we will see these details later. And see in the EBLN, this is empty. Now press F6. Okay, if the length is same, it doesn't matter. The input and output will be same. So input value and output value is same. Okay, there is no change. Input value and the output value is same. There is no change. Okay, next. Okay, input value and output value same. Now we are trying to fetch the data basing upon this EBLN. Now press F5. You will have some records, like one record is there, right? So now press F5. Now first you got the data. Now display the second list. Now you have the data in the EKPO table. The same thing, you loop on the internal table of the EKPO and you display the data in the output. The same what I explained to you for the PO header EKKO data at first and at last, the same thing is used over here also. So we are just printing the data in the output. Now you see, you see here, you see purchase order is item list, date, user and report name, and you see all the purchase order information over here, item information over here, item column names over here, and this is the item data, PO item data is displayed over here. Similarly, when you go back, I click on 008. Okay, now what happens in this case? The values will change. You see, it will be your field is the field value will be same. I mean, the field name is same, the field name is same, but the field value will change. The field value will change, which is 0008. Okay, now you click on execute button, you will see the data corresponding to that line item which you clicked on. So this is example. This program is an example for get cursor technique. So anywhere you click, it will look for the EBLN field and it will display the corresponding data of 005. I mean that PO number which you have clicked. This is an example for interactive reporting using the get cursor technique. Okay, so you have the top of page events as usual. This is the top of page 1. This is for your what is it for the first event? I mean for the primary list, and for this second event, see top of page during line selection. Top of page during line selection. This is for the secondary list. You can see purchase order, item list, date, user, and a report. Okay, so remember, guys, you may ask a question. You see this. I am giving some data over here. Look here. I am giving some data here. You execute it. Okay. So I click on this vendor number. Let us suppose you clicked on vendor number. Okay. So it goes to the outline selection event. It will fetch, I mean, it will look for the field and field value. That is fine. Okay. and but you will not have the data fetched from EKPO table and the secondary this display the list. You don't have the data, and so you are not displaying the data. What do you mean by that? It means you are not using right statement here. Remember, you are not using right statement in this example. In this scenario, you are not using right statement. You are not using any right statement. Okay, so that is the reason why you are not using any right statement. So that is the reason why what happens in this case, you will not see the secondary list. You will not see the secondary list. Okay, so you can try this example. This is for get cursor technique. Now let us see the other report. Give me a moment. So we have other example for hide technique. Let us see that. So this is also the same program. It's the same copy paste of the program, but only few things are changed over here. Okay, let's see that. Okay, you see this. The get EKKO data display first list is also the same like the previous example. And now you see here at line selection case LISND. Right. Let's put a breakpoint over here and let's try to execute. And let's see if there are any variants available. Okay, there are variants available. Execute this. You see this? This is my first report. I mean the basic list. I click somewhere here. Okay, I'm clicking somewhere here. So at line selection event triggered. Let us see this one. Psi LSIND. I told you already. This is the basic list. We are in the basic list. We clicked on the basic list. Now when we are in the basic list, it means when it is in the basic list, when you are trying to get the data from EKKO table. So the same select query that we have seen in the previous example, display the second list. Now when you come to the secondary list, you see I used hide WA I used WA EKPO. So what happens in this case? You clicked, right? You clicked. When you click there, let me execute. Okay, give me a moment. So let me try to execute this first. Go back. Okay. So when you click on it, when you click on it, go to this. Let me select the gradient, execute it. So I click on somewhere here. So what happens when you are clicking it? The technique is it will store that complete line. It will store that complete line internally. Right? So that is what the important thing that you need to understand. It will store that line internally. Corresponding to that line which is stored internally, it will pick the EKPO data and it will display that in the output. Okay, so you just have to say hide work area EKPO. You have to just say hide work area EKPO. That's all. The remaining things will be taken care by itself, by the hide technique itself. There is no need for you to check whether this purchase order number clicked or that this purchase order number is clicked, and no need for you to look for the purchase order number and display the data in the output. Okay, so you see this, wherever I am clicking on the report, you see I am clicking on 7 now. I am clicking on 7. It displays the data in the output. Execute it. You see, it displays the data for the 7. When I click on 5, let us suppose I'm clicking on the line 5, it displays the data for the 5. When I click on the line 3, it displays the data for 3. So this technique you can use when you want to go to, or when you want to navigate to the next list, when you click on any line over here, I mean on any field, if you want to navigate to the next screen, next report, and you are not specific to any column, then you can use hide technique. Okay, I'm clicking on vendor, I click on this type. Let us suppose I'm clicking on this type. Now execute it. It displays the respective record item values in the next screen. Okay, so now when you are not specific to the fields, but when you are much specific to the fields, then you have to use get cursor technique. Using get cursor technique, either you want to check for the PO number, you want to check for the company code, or you want to check for category. It's up to you as per your requirement. You can use the get cursor with respect to that field. Sometimes they may ask you, I want to navigate to the next screen. I want to navigate to the next screen if I click only on the PO number. Okay, if I want to click on the after when we try to click on the first PO on the first line, then that information will be stored in that respective field, and we will check whether that PO number is PO number column is clicked or not. Okay, so that's about the the get cursor technique. Okay, so these are the best examples that you can use. And you see this, we are using this hide only after the write. Okay, we are using this hide after the write. So this is the procedure that we will have to follow for the hide technique. Okay, so it depends upon you, the context, how do you have to use it. Okay, so right, so these are the best examples which are given to you for you to go through and practice it. I have taken only, if you see this, there are only only 2 lists we have taken. We are navigating only from one list to the other list. So in your example, you can try for more information. I mean, you can try for more screens. Okay, you can try for more screens. You can try for more screens. Okay, right, you see here, this is the item list. I clicked on this item list, it is taking me to the next screen. It means one more report is also available over here. You can see that PO item, schedule line, and delivery date and schedule date quantity. This is a different internal table from where the data is fetched for the same PO number and item number. This is second list, second sublist, or second secondary list. If you go back, this is the first primary list. Okay, this is the first secondary list. Okay, this is the primary list. I click on this, it takes you to the next screen. This is the first secondary list. I click on this, it takes to the second screen. This is second secondary list. Okay, likewise, you can navigate to other lists. It depends upon your requirement. Okay, so that's about the interactive reporting. So let's try to understand what is a function module, what is a function group, and what are the uses of it in the real-time environment. How do we make use of it? So when we talk about function modules, the very first thing that we need to understand is about the function group. We should understand about the function group. So when we say about a function group, this is like your package, like the way how you created a package and put your objects into the package while creating a report. This is similar to the package. So in the function group, you will put basically the different items relevant to that respective module, to that respective function module. Okay, so this will be acting like a container. And using this function group will hold the global data. This function group will hold the global data. Global data means the objects which are used in this function group can be used across your SAP system, across your SAP system. It means if you have a function group defined in your landscape, within your landscape, and if you want to use it, you can make use of that in your landscape. Okay, it can be in your quality environment, it can be in your dev environment, likewise. But again, the same thing follows, like the transport of the objects from one system to other system, that will follow. But apart from that, you can declare your objects in the function group. They can be made as a global, and they can be reused. They can be reused. The primary concept of this function group with respect to the function module is reuse. So reuse means how do the same piece of the same object, you can use it multiple times, multiple places without any issues. Okay, so how do we make use of that reuse concept, and how do we create a function model? That we'll see. Next, if you the first and primary thing is, for creating a function module, you have to create a function group. We have to create a function group. The function group can be created using the transaction called SCAT. You go to SCAT transaction, and from the drop down here, you will select the function group and provide the function group name. You provide the group name. Okay, you can say SAP ABAP underscore batch 1 underscore FG. FG stands for function group. Okay, provide the group name. Once you provide the group name, it says the function group. It will ask you whether you want to create the function group. You say yes, and provide the description for the function group and save the function group. Next, it will ask you for the package as usual, as you have to store this in the transport request number, because you have to transport this also to the next environment. Okay, provide the package details and save it. Then immediately it will ask you for the transport request number. It will ask you for the transport request number, provide the transport request number. Okay, so this is how your function group looks like. This is how your function group looks like once the function group is created. Okay, so next, let us see the steps first. How do we create the function group? Let us directly go to the system and see how do we create the function group. Go to SCAT, transaction code SCAT, and you see here okay, I select the function group from here. Okay, already the function group is already created. I say FG underscore new, just for your understanding. I provide the name. As the function group does not exist, the system will ask you whether you want to create the object. I'll say yes. And to provide the function group name, I say function group for SAP ABAP training. Okay, provide some description and to provide the package name. So we have some package name like Z Mohammed package. Now click on save button. And now we already have a transport request number. I'm saving that in the transport request number. Okay, so once your function group is created, you can see in the function group two different includes. One is the top include, the one is with the new UXX. Okay, and you can see here, these are inactive. When you double click on this, these are include program, guys. Again, remember, these are include program. Like we created in SC38, this is also include program. You see this is inactive, and if you click on this, okay, so this is active, but you can see this is an inactive object. What you need to do first, right click on this and try to activate it. First of all, you need to make your components active from that function group. Try to activate it. After you try to activate it, then try to use it. Okay, so now you can see your objects are active. Okay, you can see here. You can see this is now active. Both of them are active. Then you can start using your function group for your requirement. Okay, so these are the initial steps that you need to follow for the function group creation. Okay, so the next we'll see the next information. We'll see what is the function module. So in the function model, as I told you already, that if you have to make reuse of the piece of the code, if you have to reuse the block of the code, then we can go to the concept of a function module. Okay, so this function module can be used in any program, in a report program, or include it can be used in forms. You can also call the function module inside another function module. Okay, so that is a major advantage. I'll tell you an example. How important is the function module with respect to the previous examples which I have taken. I mean, which I have explained you. Okay, right. So what is that? Mainly this can be useful for the reusable code which is available in this. We will make use of we will make use of it again and again, which is nothing but a reuse. Can be used in programs, can be used in reports, can be used in forms, and also can be used in other function modules. Okay, so when we talk about the types of the function modules, we have three different types of function modules. One is a normal function module, the other one is a remote enabled function module, and the other one is the update function module. Okay, so remote function module is, it's like the normal function module is the function module which is reusable. Of course, every function module is reusable over here. Okay, so this function module, normal function module, is dedicated only to your system. If you created a function module with a normal option, it can be only used within your system, within your landscape. You will use it. You cannot use it outside. I mean, if there are any applications which are trying to connect to SAP, external applications trying to connect to SAP, in such case, this function module cannot be used. You cannot use this function module to the external applications to use or to call from their side. Okay, so it's a kind of like application programming interface, like APIs we call them as. Okay, though in the not only now, from many days, there are many applications, inter-cross applications which are being used. It means SAP will call non-SAP applications, SAP will call SAP applications, like Java applications will call non-Java applications. So it means .NET applications can call even SAP applications. SAP applications can call .NET applications. So there is a cross calling of all the applications developed in different domains. So there is a middleware that is available for each and every domains to get connected with each other. Okay, so it's a simple example, guys. We are staying in one country, we are trying to get some inputs from other country. So, but there is a flexibility or the feasibility for us to get some imports from other country. There is an option for us even to export some items to other countries as well. Okay, so think in that way, right? So that's about normal function module. And when we talk about the remote enabled function module, this also can be used, reused, but the only one difference here is that this is remotely enabled. This is remotely enabled. What do you mean by remotely enabled? It means the external system can call this function module. Okay, it means we are making this function module to be remote enabled. Remote means make this function module available to the external SAP or non-SAP systems, whatever it is. Okay, we call it as RFC, remote function call. We call it as RFC. Right? Next, coming to the update function module. This function module will work with respect to the update tasks. Update task means For example, you are making a call to a system and you are trying to wait for the response. You are trying to wait for the response. The other system on the other side is not responding to you, to your call. Let us suppose it is taking 1 or 2 hours. Until then, what happens? Until then, you have to wait. You are the next piece of the code in your program has to wait until you get a response back. Okay, so it means that the situation is like the waiting time will increase. So in order to avoid this conflict, there is a concept called update function module. It means you make a call to the requirement and don't wait to complete the other process. Don't wait to complete other process. Let your process continue. When your process will continue and there will be a written answer, or there will be an answer expected later time, but you are not holding your other processes. Okay, so it depends upon the context we use. So that is about the update function module. So that is the reason why we are saying it asynchronously. Asynchronously means you make a call and you are not receiving any feedback, or you are not receiving any response. Synchronous means you make a call and you get the feedback or you get the response. That is the synchronous. Asynchronous means you make a call. Don't wait for the response, but you do your job. Okay, that is asynchronous. Okay, so these are the different types of function modules. Next, so in the function modules, we see different parameters like attributes, import, export, changing, tables, exceptions, and source code things. We'll see all these items in the function module. I'll try to open a function module and I'll try to show it to you. So there are many standard function modules available in SAP. The transaction code is SC37. I say GUI underscore download is one of the standard function module given to us by SAP. Open it. GUI underscore download. You see, this is how it looks like. The function model looks like. You can see your attributes. In the attribute section, you can see what is a function group used. You see, this is the function group, some short text. And you see, guys, here processing type, normal function module, remote enabled function module, update module. You see, that is what I told you just now. Normal function module, remote function module, and update function module. In the remote, in the update function module, you can see options start immediately, immediate start, no restart, start delayed, call run. Okay, so this is not much relevant or important to us, but let us see. This function module is declared as normal function module. It means we can use within our SAP system. Here within the system, E810, we can use it. Okay, who is responsible for it? SAP. Who changed it? SAP. When changed on 4/2/2015. What is the package? This is the package. What is the program name? So when you create a function group, it creates a program name also. It creates an include also. If you double click on this, this is a program name. Inside the program name, this is a program name, nothing but your function group name. The function group name is similar to your, you can see here, this is a program name. You double click on that, it will take you to your function group. Okay, you can see here top, these are the SC38 programs like global data, function modules, and these are all the includes. These are all the different function modules inside it. Okay, we'll come to that later. Okay, so these are the different information available over here. You can go through that. And next, import parameters. You can see the import parameters. It means import means something is coming from external system. I mean, from the externally into this into this function module. It means you are sending, somebody is sending and you are receiving it. Very simple. You are receiving it. Import is nothing but receiver. Okay, import is nothing but receiver. Export means you are sending from your function module to others. Okay, this is the export parameters, we call it as changing parameters. When you are talking about changing parameters, anything over here inside this changing can be changed. We can change the data of it. We can change the data of the parameters used over here. Next, tables. The tables, it can be like your internal table, but you cannot change the data. It's only the data will be available, but you cannot change it. Exceptions, like abnormal termination of the program, can be handled using the exceptions. Okay, sometimes when you're running the program, some sources are not available, some resources are not available, and you want to handle the smooth termination of the program, you use exceptions. And you see the source code. In the source code, you can see the signature of this. In the source code, you can see importing, exporting, changing table. You can see importing parameters. You can see exporting parameters. You can see tables parameters. You can see exceptions. And this is the complete source code, guys. This is the complete source code. This is a code given to you by SAP. This is the complete code given to you by SAP. When you are using this function module, okay, the standard code will work. The standard code given to you by SAP will work. Okay, I have designed a program for you for GUI download. Just I will explain you what is the use of that program. So this program is basically for downloading the data. This program is especially for downloading the data. So I'll show you downloading the data. It means whenever you are working on the internal tables concept, you are actually try to put the internal table data from the database table. Okay, so this is a program. So just I'll execute and show you. So you see this? So download and upload. Download and upload the data. So when I say download, I'm providing some material numbers, guys. So provide some material numbers. Provide some material numbers from here. Okay, you take 0037, 372, let us suppose some 91. Let us suppose 91. Okay, so let us use some data here and try to click on execute button. You see this user desktop mara data.txt. You see it is trying to download the data. Whatever the data you have faced in the program, it's trying to download the data from the desktop. Now click on allow. See, data downloaded successfully to your desktop file mara underscore data.txt. So what I'm trying to do, you see, try to open this. You see this data. You can see this mara underscore data. You see this. This is the data that is being pulled in your report program, and that is what we are seeing it. So you see this. In the top include, I used TY Mara. I used some fields and internal table and work area, and I'm trying to use the file name as the local path. Okay, on the desktop I want to save the data. Okay, next in the selection screen I'm trying to give the select options. I'm trying to give the material number. Okay, I'm trying to give the material number from and to the range I'm trying to give, and I give the if you double click on this, you can see the radio options, download and upload. Okay, download and upload. When you click on download, you have this screen enabled for providing you the inputs for the material numbers, ranges. You can give it. Upload directly. We have given the flexibility to upload the data from that respective path. Okay. So now, when you see here in the concept of download, see when radio button download is selected, what I'm trying to do, get data. We're trying to fetch the data from the database table, put into the internal table, IT Mara. Okay, so this is one thing. Once we are fetching the data, we are having this subroutine download data. Now observe here. In this download data, you see this. This is the call function GUI underscore download. So this is, guys, this is very important to us. This is what I explained to you about the function module, which is given to us by SAP. So this GUI download, you need to call it. How do you call? You go to more, you click on the pattern. Go to more, click on the pattern. In the pattern, you have an option called call function. Try to provide your function module name. The process is same for usage for any function module. It can be custom function module or standard function module. It can be anything. Provide this and click on tick mark. When you click on tick mark, you will see this signature in your program. You see the signature available in your program. You see most of them are commented, right? Most of them are commented. So it means most of them are commented. It means if it is commented means they are optional. They are optional. It is not mandatory. Okay, it is optional. Which are open here are mandatory. I am going to this GUI download and look here in the GUI download standard function module. If you see this, what is the first parameter we have? Bin file size. So bin file size, you see the column called optional pass value. You see optional is ticked. When optional is ticked, it means you will get the signature in your program as asterisk. It means commented line. Optionals will be always commented. You see, there are many fields here as optionals. All the optionals are all the commented information is optionals. Very simple understanding. Everything which is commented here is an optional. Whether you use or don't use, up to you, but it is an optional. But which is mandatory? You see, file name is not checked here. It means it is mandatory. That is the reason why it is open. Okay, that is the reason why it is open. Got it? And next, same way, go to export parameters. In the export parameters, okay, so this is like exporting. Okay, see, understand here. In case of GUI download, if it is importing, in our ABAP program, it is exporting. I repeat again. In case of our ABAP program, you see this. It is opposite. You need to understand opposite. GUI download. In function module, import means in our program it is export. You see? Okay, you see bin size, bin file size, file name. In function model, we are seeing it as import, but in our program, you are seeing it as exporting. Look here. So it will change. The direction will change. Very simple. The direction will change, but everything will remain same. There is no confusion. Okay. And something is exporting here. That will be importing here. Look here. Exporting is what is this? This is optional. This is given it as a pass by value, and is not required. You see importing. When it is exporting, it will become importing, and this is a file name. This is also file name. This is commented. Now coming to changing, in the changing there are no parameters, so that is the reason why nothing is there over here. Now come to tables. In the tables you have parameters. Okay, so you can see here the data tab is there. It is not checked, so it is mandatory. Field names is checked, so it is optional. I mean not mandatory. That is the reason it is commented. Come to exceptions. In the exceptions, everything is optional. You see, all of them are like commented. So if you want to use them, you use them, or else you don't use them. That's it. Very simple. So that is how we use. So generally, what happens in real-time environment, whichever is commented, we remove it. So I'm trying to remove this from here. Already I used it. Okay. So now you see what I opened. The file name is there, which is mandatory. I opened the file type and right field separator. I opened these two fields. I opened these two parameters for my requirement. And in the table section, I am passing the IT Mara. Okay, so what is the understanding here? In the GUI download function module, I am passing the file name into which file the data has to come and store. Okay, that is one thing. And the other thing is file type. What is a file type? Is a text file or Excel file or ascribe type format, we call it as. Generally, we use ASC. Right field separator. It means column to in between data, CC column to column. Do you want a separator or not? This one. This is a separator. You need it or not? Yes, you need it. That is the reason why I'm saying it as X. And from which table you need to pick the data? You have the data in the table called IT Mara. Internal table is filled with data. Internal table is filled with data, and that internal table data you are saving it in this file on that path. Okay. And next thing is we opened all the exceptions. These are standard exceptions, and I am saying here size of RC not equal to 0. It means if this is failing, by any chance if it is failing, If size bar is not equal to 0, data not downloaded to the file. I am saying information that data is not downloaded to the file. But if the data is downloaded, I am saying data downloaded successfully to desktop file, mara underscore data.txt. I am saying it is success. So this is a message I am handing it over here. Okay. And if there is no data itself in the internal table, then I have a message saying data does not exist in the internal table. Type E error. That's what. Okay. So I'm trying to activate this. Okay. Trying to activate this. And I'm putting a breakpoint over here. Just how the call happens. Just try to click on this execute button and providing this data over here. I'm saying it as a test data 1. Right. Now click on execute button. Click on execute button and see what happens. Look here. Let's clearly understand. LV file name is our file name. It is like this. This is a file name with a path, nothing but user desktop mara. This is a path, right? So next thing is you are seeing internal table. How many records are there? 25 records are there in the internal table. These 25 records will be considered for downloading. Okay, these are the 25 records available for readily available for download. And I'm going into this. You see this? If I go into this, right? Press F5, guys. When you press F5, you are in the function module. You are going into that respective function module. Okay, it's taking me to the standard code. Let's see. What I'll do, I open in another session this function module, right? Go back, go to the function module, go to the source code, try to put breakpoint directly here. Put a breakpoint here, okay? Put a breakpoint here and directly execute your program. Execute your program. It will stop at the first breakpoint in our program. This is our program breakpoint. Remove it. What I'm trying to do, I'm trying to put breakpoint, execute it. It is trying to stop. It will stop here. You see this? Our data is it means you see this size bar c equal to 0. It is 0. It means this call is successfully executed. And you can see this data downloaded successfully to the desktop. So you can see the data. Okay, so all the data you can see it. So this function module is used in many places. So I select this function module, click on this where user list. Just check where is this used. You will find that function module used in many places. This is what reusability is. You see, it is used in all these places. Wherever, if you scroll down to the if you scroll down, so these are all the places. You can double click on this. You can double click on this. Okay, you see this GUI download. Back. You can double click on this. Wherever it is available, you can see GUI download. Right? So it means what is the importance here? The reusability is the importance. Reusability is the importance. You see, it is used in this include GUI download. And what are they passing here? Just try to see what are they passing. They are passing the file name, they are passing the file type, they are passing the table data, nothing but the internal table data. That is what we did in our example also. So this is how we make use of the we make use of these function modules. And if you see in the where user list, you will definitely see our program name here. You will definitely see our program name. Just scroll down. Because we are using it in our program also, it will pick you our program name as well. You can see here GABAP batch GUI download. You see this GABAP batch 1 GUI download. Create program for batch GUI download. Okay, it is showing our program name also, and that is what I was explaining you up to now. Double click on this, it will take you to the program. See, this is the program, right? We are using GUI download. Okay, the same thing is being used over here. Okay, so that is what the main usage of this. This is the main usage of your GUI download function module. Similarly, when we talk about the GUI upload also, we are passing the file name, we are passing the file type, we are passing the field separator, and we are passing the internal table name. That's it. We are passing the internal table name. So what happens in this case? The GUI upload, some data is available. That data you are passing to that file. That's what. Okay. So let me try to execute for upload and execute this. You see, the system is attempting to access the file. It is trying to access this file, Mara data file, Mara data. I'm closing this. Now click on allow. You see this? The data is uploaded from the desktop into the internal table in the program, and we are displaying that in the output. Very simple. So reverse to the download. We are downloading the data, same data we are trying to upload to the internal table and show the data in the output. So what did we use for the upload? We use what functionality we used? Just I used GUI upload, and what I gave the file name, I gave the file type, and I gave the field separator, and I gave where the internal table data is present. That's it. Simple. Okay, so this is one more best example for GUI upload. Okay, so I explained you about GUI download and GUI upload. In the next session, we can create our own function modules, guys. We can create our own function modules, and we can also make that available as the GUI download, GUI upload function modules as well. We can create our own function modules. We can create our own business logic to be included in the function module, and we can reuse it. So that part we'll try to cover it in the next session. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, that's about for today's class.